Hey guys, welcome to Nerd Central. Today, I'm going to be teaching you how to solve two types of logarithmic equations. Hope you enjoy. Now let's get into the video. So as you can see, there are three types of logarithmic equations. Today, I'm going to be teaching you two of these types. So the first type is where there are two logarithms in the same base, but they have different values for b and c. As you can see, this logarithmic equation has the logarithms in base 6, and one has value x minus 3 for b, and the other has value 3x minus 7 for c. And then, the second type of logarithmic equation, which I'm also going to be teaching you in this video, is where there's a logarithm of any base, and b can be at really any value, and c is an integer. It could be a variable, but we're going to stick to it being an integer just to make this concept simpler. So as you can see, there's a logarithm on base 7, which has the value b is 4x minus 3, and it's equivalent to the integer 2. Then the third type of logarithmic equation, which I'm not going to be teaching in this video, but I may make a video on it soon, is where there's a logarithm in base a with any value for b. Then there's a logarithm which could be in any base c and any value for d. So as you can see in the example, it's logarithm to base 5 with the value 3x minus 1 for b, which is equivalent to a logarithm in base 7 with the value of x minus 2 for d. So now that you know which types of logarithms you're going to need, logarithmic equations you're going to learn, let's get into teaching you them. Also, please note that you're going to have to know what a logarithm is to understand these logarithmic equations, and I have made a video on logarithms which will be linked in the description. So, first I'm going to teach you how to solve the first type of logarithmic equation, where two logarithms are in the same base but have different values for b and c. I'm going to use the same example equation from before, a logarithm in base 6 where b is x minus 3, and another logarithm in base 6 where c is 3x minus 7. So, since both of these logarithms are in the same base, you can just completely eliminate both of them out of the equation and get the equation x minus plus 3 equals 3x minus 7. And then you can solve this like you would solve any one variable equation. If you don't know how to solve a one variable equation, we will be posting a video on that soon. And when it's posted, I'll link it in the description. So, we can just solve this simply and realize that x equals 5. And that's how we can solve the equation. That's how simple it is. Now let's move on to the second type of logarithmic equation. So this is the second type of logarithmic equation, where we have a logarithm to any base a, and b can also be any value. We're also going to use the same example from earlier with a logarithm of base 7, and b is equal to 4x minus 3 is equivalent to the integer 2. So to solve this, we have to do a process called exponentiating. So first, let's just write it in terms of logarithm a to b equals c. So it would become, you can totally eliminate the logarithm by just doing it to the power of a. So a to the power of this logarithm of a to b equals a to the power of c. And this eliminates the logarithm. So what you end up with is just b equals a to the power of c. So we can apply that here, where since we see that a equals 7, we can take it so we get 4x minus 3 equals 7 to the power of 2, or 4x minus 3 equals 49. So we can solve this like we would solve any single variable equation, which again, there will be a video about that soon, and I will link it in the description when it's released. And we get that x equals 13. Yeah. And then if it would be a variable, you could end up squaring it, and you could get a quadratic equation, but that's a different topic. And yeah, that's how you solve two types of logarithmic equations. Hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in the next one.